Wow, this chapter of My Hero Academia, chapter 249, it really is extremely throwing a lot of death flags for Endeavor. That dream that he keeps on having, if that's not a sign that Horikoshi is slowly gearing up to kill off Endeavor, then I don't know what is. Because man, as I'm reading this chapter, I just kept on thinking to myself, this is not gonna end well for our dude. Like, Endeavor has made great strides to change. He's trying his best to be the best hero, or the best #1 hero he can be. He's trying to be a better father. He's trying to deal with his children in a better manner than he's done in the past, of course. But it seems like no matter how much redemption this character has, strived for, it's just not gonna be enough. And the next arc might be his untimely demise, and I could see a lot of things coming from it. But Endeavor, woo, it's gonna be sad if they kill him. Like, I know he was a bastard in the past and very, very extreme and did some horrible things, but the man has changed, and is like, I just hope that the fandom hasn't pushed the author to really do this. That's, I guess, one of the things. Is like, is it because he feels the fandom is never going to accept the fact that he, is a changed man, so he's like, yo, I'm gonna just kill him off? Like, please don't let that be the case. But My Hero Academia is gonna be a somber one. Let's talk about it. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. So like I said, Endeavor, he continuously, chapter starts off, he continuously is having this dream of his family all sitting around the dinner table, laughing, having a good time, but he's not there. And if that ain't, a foreshadowing that Endeavor's not going to make it, and that's going to happen at some given point, his family is finally going to be reunited without him, I don't know what is. Like, My Hero Academia, mind you, some people will argue and they'll say like, yo, All Might should have died in the fight against All For One. All Might should have been the big one. He obviously survived, but we've seen deaths in it before. I mean, where's Night Eye, fam? R.I.P. Night Eye. I shouldn't even have said it like that. Like, Night Eye bit the big one, so it's not like Horikoshi is completely against killing off his characters. And on top of the fact, you gotta think, Endeavor, there's a big portion of the fandom that still to this day does not forgive him for what he's done to Todoroki and the mom and all that stuff. Like, there's people that are to this day sending death threats, which it's disgusting and terrible. But maybe that's a main reason, or not a main reason, but one of the many reasons why Horikoshi is gearing up to potentially kill Endeavor off in this war that's to come with, the League of Villains and stuff like that, because for whatever reason, they don't want to let this man have his redemption and change into a better person. And we see that Bakugo, Todoroki, and Deku still to this point, even after a week, have not been able to save anybody before Endeavor, and rightfully so. I mean, he's the #1 hero. A couple of rookies, a couple of, up-and-comers shouldn't be able to outdo him, especially when he's trying at his very best. Despite being a little bit of a show-off, Endeavor's really going hard. He's, saving this one and that one, but also still trying to be a teacher at the same time. So the fact that they can't do it, I could potentially see when this upcoming war happens, maybe Endeavor, or Todoroki in particular, will finally be able to save somebody before Endeavor. But as far as while this internship is going on with Endeavor, I don't see them being able to outdo him. I see it as one big lesson for these three, that this is how you be a great #1 hero. Again, for somebody like Deku, is a big difference from what he grew up on with All Might and looking at him as the symbol of justice. This is showing these characters you don't need to be like one person. You can be yourself and be your own type of hero and carve your own legacy and your own path. So I like that Endeavor, they still haven't been able to outdo him and save anybody before him. And also, again, he's still being a teacher on top of outdoing them. Also, by the way, side note, Burnin', that sidekick of Endeavor's, A1, baby, A1. And the comedy in this chapter, despite the very heavy, family drama, was really all provided by Bakugo. Bakugo from jump, when he's like, but why are we going to your family's house? But why? And then when he said, just tell her that we're not really friends, it's not too late. I ain't gonna lie, I had a chuckle or two with that one. That was actually pretty funny. Like, it seems as though this week there was a decent amount of comedy in a lot of the Jump manga that I read. Like, Bakugo, though, he took the cake. And it's funny that despite the fact that Bakugo is pretty insensitive, he doesn't, like, the way he handled things in this chapter was insensitive. At the same time, he's a great icebreaker. He's a great, no pun intended, by the way, with Todoroki, ice, yeah, but he's great at kind of disrupting the very serious nature of things because he's so damn rude. And we see when we arrived at, you know, Todoroki's family's house, we got the sister, and it shows that even some of the family members, probably all of them, still don't really forgive Endeavor. I think the only one that actually is at this point 100% forgiven Endeavor is the mom. And we see that, you know, the letter, and I actually read what the letter said, and she was basically like saying, hey, you know, I really want to live with you guys. And, you know, it was a really sad situation, but from Natsu, the brother that, you know, was there, and he's like, I just can't do this. And he bounced out of there, even though he was seemingly hiding in the hallway when Bakugo was looking out there. So, you know, even the sister said, yeah, I still really ain't forgive him. Todoroki still ain't forgive him. But you could tell that, and Deku and again Bakugo, which Deku really wasn't comedic, it was more so like just breaking, you know, kind of giving input into things. You can tell they all want to forgive him. They probably all want to be a happy family at this particular point, but it's hard to move on. They've been through a lot of trauma. Endeavor put them through a lot. Their mother ended up going crazy and burning Todoroki's face, and she was put in a crazy home. Endeavor was abusive. Like, it's kind of hard to bounce back from that situation. So they're at a point where they definitely want to forgive him. Like Bakugo said, you know, like, you're a good guy and you probably want to forgive him or whatever. Like, you know, it's just waiting for that moment, I guess you could say. And it was honestly very tense, this chapter, because it felt so grounded to reality. Like a broken family that's trying to pick up the pieces, and a father that made a lot of horrible mistakes, and he's trying to repair his family situation. And, you know, again, Bakugo, I think you need an asshole like Bakugo. You need somebody like that to break the tension and say, yo, why you bringing us over if you got this family drama going on? What the hell? And honestly, again, it just seems as though every part of this chapter was a big setup for whatever's to come. It seems as though there's a possibility, which it's tragic. This right here is tragic, that his family might not get the opportunity to forgive him until he's gone. Because if this is really setting up that Endeavor is going to die soon, there's been so many flags for Endeavor and possibly even Hawks to die with the upcoming, you know, arc that we're about to have with the war, with everything. It seems as though there's a big possibility that they won't have that redemption. I could see a scene where Endeavor's getting ready to croak and Todoroki shows up and finally says, I forgive you, and that'll probably be the only one. But, you know, even with Natsu hiding in the hallway and standing there still, it was like, it's a messed up situation. I don't know, it kind of hits a little close to home for me, and I was just reading it and being like, man, this guy, like, you know, people make mistakes, and, you know, yeah, it could be traumatic. Yeah, he did some really messed up things, but you can't hold somebody to it forever. Eventually you gotta say, you know what, they made mistakes, they're trying to make up for it, let's move forward. And it was really, I don't know, it was sad for me reading this chapter. I felt very sad. And then the ending with Endeavor going to Touya's picture in the little shrine, you know, the son that was deceased from all this, which, I mean, if it's not screaming that Touya is Dabi, I don't know, or Dabi's Touya, I don't know what is, because at the end of the day, Dabi's one of the big key players of the League of Villains. We don't know his past at all. Like, out of everybody from the League of Villains that got like that big flashback scene, like Shigaraki, and all of them had flashback scenes in that last arc that we had with the League of Villains, with that big fight against Reed Destro and his people. We never got Dabi's, and then we see Endeavor praying to the picture of Touya and saying, man, I wish you was here. There's a big possibility Endeavor could die at the hands of Dabi. That would be very, very dark. His son that, you know, would never forgive him for whatever happened to him ends up being the one that kills him, and then Todoroki goes ham. There's so many possibilities for where this story is gonna go, but it's just tragic. Like, I'm at the point now where reading this and looking at it from an outsider's perspective, I feel bad for Endeavor, because he's trying his hardest. He's trying now with his family, and it just sucks that it took him getting the #1 position and how he got it, that it seems as though it's almost like a Pyrrhic victory for this character. If you think about it, he's a tragic character. Like, he sacrificed almost his whole family trying to become the #1 hero. He gets the seat as like an alternate because, you know, the #1 hero basically was messed up, you know, what happened with All Might. So upon ruining his whole family, he ends up getting the position in a very way that he probably didn't want to get it. And then on top of that, now his family, as he's trying to get redemption, still ain't really forgive him yet. It's messed up. On top of that, you know, a dead son that might turn out to be a villain that's alive when you're the #1 hero. Imagine if that got out. That's gonna have to be covered up. If that turns out to be Touya, Dabi's identity will definitely have to be covered up, because if not, a villain, a main villain from the League of Villains in this war coming up that is related to the #1 hero, that'll be controversial, and there will be people that'll be protesting and everything. Curious how you guys felt about this chapter though. What did you think about what was going on with Endeavor? Do you think that this was just 100% a straight up sign that Endeavor is going to die in the upcoming battle against the League of Villains? Also, do you think that that was foreshadowing yet again that Touya is going to turn out to be Dabi? How do you feel in general with this chapter? Like, this family drama stuff is very different, and it's a break away from the norm that we get with My Hero, with, you know, the fun and sports festival and all that stuff. Like, this is some dark family drama, very, very intimate situation, but I gotta say that, like, it had me. I like it when My Hero goes dark or serious. It does it so well that sometimes I'm like, man, I don't even want to go back to the clown and laugh and shit. Like, can we just stay in things like this? Because it's very interesting, but and sad at the same time. And your overall thoughts and expectations for the future of My Hero Academia. I believe next chapter is chapter 250. Like, wow, we're moving, baby. We're moving. And if they kill off Endeavor, it's, for me, I know there's a lot of people that still haven't forgiven him for what he's done to Todoroki and his family. For me, I will be at this point very sad because he messed up. He's trying to change his life. Give him an opportunity. Don't kill him off. But that's all I have for this one, though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links, of course, are in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld. And as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule. Anime and manga for life. Boy, have an awesome day. Peace in. And Horikoshi, don't do it, man. Let him get redemption. Why you gonna do it like Endeavor? No.
Enjoy the next ride, but I was the best ride.